Let's continue here tonight. Proceedings in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial adjourned earlier after the state expressed concerns over the treatment of a witness this morning. Journalist chased down Tumelo Madlala while entering court. Prosecutor Advocate George Baloyi saying the witness felt petrified by what happened. 3 broadcasters, including Newzroom Afrika, have since apologized for the incident. For more on this case, we're joined by legal expert Ulrich Roux. Ulrich, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. Not often that we see in a case where the court has granted access for a journalist to be chased out in the way that they were tonight. Of course, it again speaks to perhaps just the moment that they were caught up in and just some of the risks that they posed to the witness.
Good evening, Kathy. Yes, thank you for having me. Yes, certainly unprecedented what happened in court today, but I think that the judge made the right decision and conducted proceedings fairly and in the correct way. Remember that a state witness, or any witness for that matter in a criminal trial, cannot be asked questions before he or she testifies. Their testimony should be reserved for the open court and then be subjected to cross-examination. So for the witness to be forced into answering questions prior to him testifying was certainly not a proper procedure, and I think the correct decision made by the judge.
It is an important reminder that, you know, the rights that even we as the media are given come with a great deal of responsibility on our part too.
Yes, definitely. Remember that, you know, every court has its rules inside the courtroom, and everyone must respect those court rules, including the journalists who are covering the matter. And I'm certain that after today's developments, it won't happen again. You know, a presiding officer, be it a magistrate or a judge, will at all times try and maintain order in his courtroom, and that is exactly what he did today. And I think that one can expect, hopefully, better behavior from the journalists tomorrow.
I was going to say, what are you hoping will be the lessons that are taken out of today's experience, I think, holistically, for the entire industry?
Well, remember that journalists only cover a criminal trial and the live proceedings upon having done application to do so, and that application having been granted by the court. And once the application is approved, then they are bound by the court rules, and they must adhere to those rules, including, you know, the fact that they cannot harass or intimidate or bully a witness who is going to testify in court. And secondly, that they must adhere to the court rules at all times. Remember that there is a bigger picture here, and that is that it is a criminal trial where evidence is being led pertaining to the alleged murder of a person, and in this instance, a very well-known person and sporting icon of South Africa. And, you know, the deceased wishes, as well as the family of the deceased, must be respected at all times. And importantly, you know, the evidence must be preserved in order for the judge to make an objective and informed decision based on the testimony led. And once again, you know, if a witness is forced to answer questions prior to him testifying, that could have a severely detrimental effect on the testimony being led in court and in accordance with the rules of evidence. So, you know, important lessons learned today. And as I said, hopefully, you know, going forward, it won't be necessary for the judge to reprimand any journalists or any other members of the public for that matter, whilst the criminal trial is proceeding.
All right, certainly a moment that calls for reflection, particularly on the part of the broadcasters here that were found in the wrong. That's legal expert Ulrich Roux.